You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you in part by SiouxEmpireSingles.com. Dan, how you doing, sir?
Doing okay, thanks for asking. Heidi, you good?
I'm good. I'm real good.
John?
I'm fabulous.
All right. Oh, man. John Belushi would have been 73 today.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
He died at age 33.
He looked like a neat guy.
Yeah.
Best sideburns in the world ever to this day. Neil Diamond celebrating a birthday today.
Oh, yeah. I love Neil.
You think I would have written that down.
Oh, that's all right.
But no, it's
He's
40,
suffering
43.
from Parkinson's disease now.
43.
He's 43.
Like a lot more, so like 47.
Probably in his 80s.
Neil Diamond.
Neat
Love
guy.
him.
He should have gotten an Oscar for his part in Saving Silverman.
Oh, yeah. That was actually really
love
good.
that
Flippin'
movie.
hilarious.
I love that movie.
Yeah, if you haven't
Hey, we're coming to America.
Yeah.
seen it,
Such a great
check it
movie.
out.
He was born in 1941, so he'll be 81 today.
Get out of here.
81.
Wow, thanks for doing my job, John.
You know what? I'm there to help, Dan.
I appreciate it very much. Ermis Efren Borgnino.
Zac Efron?
Ernest Borgnine
Oh,
from McHale's Navy.
I liked him too.
And some great movies, too. He killed Frank Sinatra in From Here to Eternity.
Oh, yeah.
No, Frank Sinatra killed him.
Yeah, that's a
in
while
knife
ago.
fight.
Though.
Yeah, crazy stuff. He actually served in the Navy from 1935 to 41. Then World War II broke out. He actually re-enlisted in 1942.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
First class honorary chief petty officer. He was a gunman's mate.
Was he in 12 Angry Men?
No.
Oh, I was thinking he was in that.
And you were wrong.
Clearly.
It was 1972. This story is just so crazy. 1972, this day, Japanese Sergeant Shoichi Yokoi is found hiding in a Guam jungle. He had no idea World War II had ended.
I've heard this story.
About 27 years earlier.
Yeah.
Had no clue. And so he just kept doing his job and was by himself.
Yeah.
And literally hid out in the jungle for almost 30 years.
Isn't that
about a
crazy?
self-starter.
Imagine the look on his little face. He said, yeah, that whole thing ended.
That's been done for a while.
Did we win?
How you doing?
You might want to just stay in the jungle.
Yikes.
You get your bowl of soup.
Yikes. Yeah.
Gee, crazy story. But if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
It's 1848. James Marshall finds gold in Sutter's Mill in Coloma, California. That would spark the gold rush. And provide a name for the San Francisco NFL franchise.
Yeah, that's true.
49ers. It was 1984. This is crazy. Apple launches its Macintosh personal computer on the United States in a commercial during Super Bowl 17, featuring a 9-inch black and white screen, 2 serial ports, and a 3.5-inch floppy disk slot. Price tag, $2,500.
Wow.
Okay.
In case you don't know, Dolphins played the Redskins Super Bowl 17, Washington 27, the Fish 17. Because some people are curious, like, well, Super Bowl 17, who won that? Whatever.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I was actually looking up 12 Angry Men to see who was in that.
Oh, what, you don't believe me?
It's not that I don't believe you, but I think I found the wrong version because I don't know any of these people. So.
You want to watch a great Ernest Borgnine movie? In fact, I do believe you won an Oscar for it. A film called Marty.
Not seen
It
it.
was really serious and kind of sad, and he starred in it.
He's a
and,
phenomenal actor.
Great actor. Yeah, you watch Marty, and man, your heart just pours out to Ernest Borgnine. Yeah,
I'll have to find that.
I will too.
it's beautiful black and white.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, I know. You know.
I'll quit Googling stuff while you're talking. I'm
Well,
sorry.
no, that's what you do. I never have your full attention, and I could care less. We can just move ahead.
All right, we're going to do that. It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris. It's brought to you in part by SiouxEmpireSingles.com.
Aloha. Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDVacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from gmdvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at gmdvacations.com.
Time now for a bright spot of news brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. They can brighten any room with a beautiful light fixture, and we are going to brighten your day right now with some positive news. I've got the most beautiful woman in all of the Sioux Empire joining me. Hello, Heidi Small.
Oh, my. Hello.
She's my wife, so I can say all of that stuff. We were one of the sponsors on the Snow Jam Comedy Festival. It wrapped up this last weekend, so it's all over and it's all done. So for those of you who missed it, you missed it. I hope you'll come out next year. But did you have a good time?
I really had a great time.
So something you need to know. My wife is a huge fan of a comic by the name of Brian Regan.
Yes.
If you listen to Sunny Radio, you've heard Brian Regan because our company is called Cup of Dirt LLC.
And that is Brian.
That's from Brian Regan. And at the top of every hour, we have a thing called a legal ID where we say, Sunny Radio, division of Cup of Dirt LLC. And you hear a guy go, I call it Cup of Dirt.
That's Brian.
That's Brian. Heidi said, somehow, someday, some way, if I end up getting killed mysteriously in my sleep, she didn't say that, but she's going to leave me for Brian Regan. So. Am I quoting you kind of close?
Pretty close, fairly
right,
close.
Something like that. I think she basically said she's going to smother me in my sleep. So when we were putting together the Snow Jam Comedy Festival this year, I'm on the committee for that. And Brian Regan is super expensive and sells out all the time. He has a brother, Dennis Regan, who is this very same kind of humor. And Dennis is one of my favorite comics. He has been for a long time. We met him when he was opening for Brian Regan at the Washington Pavilion.
So funny.
Super funny. So we reached out to him and said, hey, could you come and be a part of this? And Sunny sponsored it, and so did Smithfield Foods. Thank you to Smithfield Foods for sponsoring that with us. So for coming on board and saying, hey, we'll help do that. Bring a really good, very talented comic to come and wrap up the event. So it was kind of our closing event that happened on Saturday night. And I was honored to get to be the host and the MC, and I got to do the first 15 minutes, which was a ton of fun. Several folks that I know that had never seen me do comedy before came to that. So thank you guys for coming out for that. But anyway, Snow Jam Comedy Festival is a nonprofit, and it raises money for Special Olympics of South Dakota. And I believe today is the day we'll be announcing the number. So I see it in the little notes, but it's not official yet. I'm not going to announce it until it's officially announced, because that would be wrong of me to do that, because I'm on the board, but I'm also, again, I'm not going to announce it publicly till they're ready to, but I believe today is the day that it's going to be announced. I just want to go through one more time and say thank you to all of the sponsors who came out and helped. We have Smithfield Foods, Valley Inn, Bruning and Lewis Law Firm, and Sunny Radio were the gold sponsors. Silver sponsors, Sioux Falls Dent Repair, Lights Out Productions, Old Revolution, Blitzed Entertainment, and Boss's Pizza and Chicken. The bronze sponsors, Almeager Real Estate, JoJo's Pretty Paper, and then the venues were Boss's Comedy Club, Remedy Brewing, Spellbound Magic Shop, and Icon Lounge. And I got to go to the Magic Mike at Spellbound. That was really, really cool.
Good.
I didn't realize it was going to be an open mic, so I didn't go there prepared to tell jokes. So I just sat in the audience and watched. But I hope we get a chance to do that again. It was really, really neat. So huge thank you to him. And there's a sponsor that I'm going to make sure I mention, because he wasn't even officially a sponsor of the event, but he was at every single event taking photos, because I asked, do I know anybody who's a photographer who'd be interested? And Travis Ackerman Photography. Travis is an awesome guy. He's a friend of a friend. I literally just met him last week. He's one of the neatest people.
He did seem pretty cool. I didn't get to talk to him much, but
his work is amazing. He took photos at all of the events. And again, Travis, thank you so much for stepping up. If you know Travis and you happen to know who he is, call him and say, hey, I heard them talking about you on the radio. And then let him see, was it good or bad? No, it's good. It's very good. It's all good. Travis, you're awesome. I look forward. I'm going to get together with him one of these days and just chat some more. But what a great dude. And the photos that you're seeing posted online that look good, those were taken by him. He did a really good job. Now, in addition to the sponsors, I want to say thank you to the volunteers. There are a ton of people who volunteered to help. And there were a couple of the events that I missed completely because I volunteered to help. So I was sitting out there selling tickets, selling shirts, and I'm hearing everybody laugh in the room. Right. You know how hard that was for me?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, man, I wish I could be in there. I want to hear this. I want to see what they're doing. And then I want to get back to, Mary Mack and her husband,
Yeah.
Tim Harmston. Super nice people. They opened the show. And then, like I said, the closing of the show was Dennis Regan. He flew in Wednesday night, and he was in town Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And
And I got to hang out almost every day with my future brother-in-law, which was really exciting.
Here's
to
my
get to
favorite.
know him a little better.
Heidi has a tattoo of Brian Regan on her left arm. So it was funny. I was taking a photo of Heidi and Dennis Regan, and Heidi put her arm around him and goes, wait, is that the Brian arm? And she goes, no. He goes, okay, that's fine. He goes, I'm going to be on that arm pretty soon.
Yeah,
So
he's shooting for the other arm.
he's thinking maybe Heidi can get a tattoo of Dennis Regan on her other arm, which would just be weird. As though a tattoo of another man on your left arm is not. If you don't know who those people are, if you just go online and search, Dennis Regan has a dry bar comedy special, one of my favorite comedy
Me
specials.
too.
And Mary Mack also has a dry bar comedy special, which is another one of my favorite dry bar specials. So very funny comics. If you missed it, you missed it. It was this last week. You certainly can't say we didn't tell you about it.
That's true.
I actually had somebody tell me, I'm really looking forward to this thing being over because I'm sick of hearing about it. So today is probably the last time you hear about it, for a little while anyway. But a huge thank you to everybody who came out and helped. Snow Jam Comedy Festival 2022, done and in the books. You can find out more, maybe sign up to get some information on our Facebook page for the next one. All of that at snowjamcomedyfest.com.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. This is a great quote from Wayne Gretzky and from Michael Scott. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and it's free. Take a shot. We may be able to save you money each and every month. We'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
And now stuff Dan finds interesting. Yeah.
It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. Dan, what do you find interesting on this Monday?
Okay, the job market, as you know, nationally and probably globally, it's just weird anymore.
It really is.
For instance, Sioux Falls, and this is unbelievable. Last time I checked, Sioux Falls has an unemployment rate of like under 2% now.
Yeah.
That's just crazy, and yet there's all these jobs.
Yeah.
And that is interesting. I've had people ask about the job fair because we quit talking about it because we canceled it. But it's because there are people looking for jobs, apparently, somewhere. And there are companies looking for people who are looking for jobs, but those companies don't want to get a booth at that job fair. Some said because of COVID. I don't know why.
It's like a catch-22.
But it was one of those things where I'm like, if you don't want the thing, I'm not going to force. So we just finally said, you know what? Let's just not do it. So that's why we quit talking about it.
Tripped across this old story about Thomas Edison. Remember Thomas Edison?
I do, yeah. He invented
And it
the light
comes
bulb.
down to interviews. If you've ever been through the interview process, that's changed substantially over the years. But it's just a cool little article on Thomas Edison. And when he interviewed candidates for jobs, they would actually always meet at a cafe, whatever, and Thomas Edison would order them soup.
Oh.
Was the soup interview. Very specific reason for that. His whole criteria for it was this. If that applicant, if you will, would reach for the salt and or pepper before tasting the soup, was a no-go right from the start. Edison saying they have preconceived notions, they this and that, and you looked into it, the psychology of it, it's like, well, that sort of makes sense.
I just really like pepper.
And
a lot of pepper.
You know, when you start thinking about it, and I can remember, oh gosh, I think it was 70s, 80s, something like that, the big deal going around if someone was interviewing and you had to go into their office, they'd like just lay something on the floor by the door, a broom or whatever, and the applicant who actually picked it up and straightened it out, well, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
So you think about it, just these questions like, oh, my least favorite of all time going through it. And it hasn't happened to me in a very, very long time, but someone looked at me dead in the eye and goes, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where it's like, dude, I don't know.
Here.
I don't know what happened for lunch, man. But
Right.
Yeah, somewhere better than this dump. So did I get the job or not?
hopefully on full disability. You know, my funniest story, my son had just gotten out of the service.
Oh.
And he's got downtime before he starts school, and he's just looking for a job, man. Just any job is fine with him. And I'm talking to him, and he says, Yeah, I had an interview yesterday at one of those dollar stores.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, dude, whatever. And he goes, well, I was a little surprised. I'm talking to the manager, and he actually said, so, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And my son goes, thought about it for a second. I looked at him, and I said, dude, this is a dollar store.
Did he get the job?
He did not.
What's the most awkward thing that ever happened to you during an interview? Did you ever have anything awkward happen?
Oh.
Heidi, how about you? Anything that just pops to your head right now?
Yeah, I promised a lawyer that I wouldn't shank anybody in the office place.
And she still got
And
the
I
job.
got the job.
It can get kind of weird. I remember, and it was a job here in town several years ago, and I don't even know what I was thinking, but it was a great place, great interview, whatever. And it wasn't until I got up and left that it occurred to me I had just spent about 15 minutes telling the owner of this business things I would not do. It's like I had this litany. I'm going, yeah, and I won't do this, and I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing that. And,
Did you get the job?
15 minutes later, my phone rang, and he said, can you start Monday?
Are you seriously? That's
Well,
good.
it really was, what I was laying out there was basically, ethical type things and standards and stuff
those are
like
good.
that,
That's
just
good.
based on my experience. But it was funny how it hit me after I left. It was, I literally said to myself, Dan, what did you just do in there?
Yeah.
It's like, did you just shoot yourself in the foot or what? But it turned out that employer and myself were very much on the same page. So
Nice.
it worked out well. But yeah, that was one of the stranger moments, I guess.
Most awkward one for me was at a radio station in Iowa, and it was a guy who had his desk like propped up. It was up on a platform, and almost like a judge, how the judges thing. And the chair that I was sitting in was a tiny, tiny little chair.
Oh, yeah, again, psychology.
It was so weird. And I'm talking to this guy, and when I get nervous, I try to make people laugh. So I'm like, saying things that I think are funny, not always that everybody else will. And he's smiling and nodding. He kept saying humorous, very humorous. He never laughed, but he said humorous. And then he offered me the job, and I was like, I don't want to work here. And I didn't.
I don't want it.
Nobody in that building looked happy. Big, beautiful radio building. Great radio stations, but everybody seemed miserable, and I can't do that. I want to be happy. So I'm pretty happy here. You guys happy here?
Yeah.
Only if you tell me to be, John.
It's Monday. You got to be happy.
Oh, thrilled. Seriously, yeah, I dig this. Are you kidding me?
We all have fun. Dan, thanks for coming in, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for letting me.
It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris. It's brought to you in part by SiouxEmpireSingles.com.
In the U.S., there are 5 credit cards for every man, woman, and child. That's a lot of credit cards. And sadly, many of those are not great cards. At BetterCreditCards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer points and perks. Other cards designed to help you build your credit. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Monday, January 24th, 2022. The selling intensified on Wall Street last week as earnings come into sharp focus. While the bulk of S&P 500 companies are reporting better than expected, the outlook is weakening under the strain of inflation and supply chain hurdles. With the index down more than 7% from its recent high, it looks like the broad market is in for at least a 10% correction, if not more. The tech-heavy NASDAQ composite is already down more than 10% and heading lower. This week could seal the deal on major market correction. Not only is the FOMC expected to be hawkish with its statements, but there are key reads on consumer confidence, housing, business spending, GDP, and consumer-level inflation, as well as dozens of earnings reports from S&P 500 companies. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at MarketBeatMinute.com.